Are you struggling with juggling your time and multiple properties that you're working with? Are you running out of time for lead gen? Well, I've got the solution for you today. We're going to master our Google Calendar. So let's go. Hey everybody, it's your favorite tech trainer, Bren Brewer. Today we're going to master our Google Calendars, specifically for real estate agents. So let's get started. So is time management important? Yes, time management is extremely important. Sometimes as realtors, we feel a little bit like this picture because we have maybe 2 or 3 buyers, 2 or 3 listings, and we're trying to juggle our real estate lead gen time. We're also trying to juggle our home and our family time. We're trying to get that workout in. We're trying to do all the things all the time, and we're trying to keep up with all the important dates on all of these things as well. So sometimes we can feel a little bit like this picture here. To best use your time, you have to manage it. And Google Calendar is a tool for that. It's going to help you meet your client expectations and demands. It's going to help you balance multiple tasks. It's going to maximize your productivity and profitability. It's going to help you meet deadlines, help you adapt to the market changes, build and maintain your relationships because your clients are going to appreciate how on top of things you are, how punctual you are. It's going to help you be effective at planning and organizing. It's going to reduce your stress and burnout. And it's going to lead to your long-term business growth. Today, we're going to locate and access our Google Calendar. We're going to navigate the calendar interface. We're going to create events and appointments. We're going to use multiple calendars for different aspects of real estate. I'm going to help you to share those calendars with others. We're going to also set recurring events, and we're going to set up appointment schedules so that you can make your life easier. So to get started, we're going to go to calendar.google.com, and that's just on any Chrome web browser. Make sure you're using Chrome, or you can download the Google Calendar app. A lot of this stuff you have to set up from your desktop version on your computer first, and then the app is just seamless. You already have a Google Calendar account with your KW account, so make sure that you're using the Google account that you use for real estate when you're setting this up. When you get to Calendar, it's going to look a little bit like this, and I'm actually going to show you my calendar. So here we are on the Google Calendar page. You can see it's calendar.google.com up here at the top. On the left-hand side, you have a hamburger menu. You can click that. It's going to make your whole menu go away. If you click it again, it brings up a whole bunch of other things. Going across the top, we have today. So if you click that, it's going to take you to today's date. You have going to the next month buttons or going to the previous month buttons. You have the month that you're currently in. And then you also have a search button, a support and help button, a settings button, the view you want your calendar to be in. So maybe you want it to be just in the day, the week, the month, the year, or you could even choose just your schedule, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Or you can do 4 days. I like to stay in a week view usually, or a month view. On the right of that, you can switch to calendar or switch to tasks. So if you're using Google Tasks, you can pull that up. If you're using Calendar, you can pull that up as well, all from the calendar interface. To the right of that is your Google Apps button, and to the right of that is your Google account or the account that you're in Google Calendar. So make sure you're in the right account, the account that you're doing real estate in, and that you're going to be adding these things to your calendar today. On the left-hand side, you have a big plus create button. So you guessed it, the word create means you're going to create something. So if we press that button, we can create an event, we can create focus time, we can create out of office, we can create a working location, we can create a task, and we can create an appointment schedule. That's the create button. Here we can pull up any day of the month, and because we're on month view, it's showing us that day. But if I were to go to all of these days, it will start moving if I was on the day view. Or even if I was on the week view, it's going to change based on what day I click. You can also search for people that you are meeting with here as well. So let's just pull that up. I can search. This person's not in my calendar right now. And then you can also see your insights. You can pull this, click this button, and you can see how much of your time is in meetings, or if you color coordinate, you can click by type, and how many one-on-one meetings you're in, how many things that are on your calendar. And as you start adding other events to your calendar, your time insights will change, and it'll show you all the time that you're in meetings and all the time you're in one-on-one appointments and all the times that you're on listing appointments or buyer appointments or showing houses, those kind of things. Those insights are super important for you and your business so that you can grow. Below that is going to be all the different calendars that you have, and this is also going to be where you can create more calendars. First thing though, we are going to create a calendar event. So I'm going to come back over here to the Create button, and I'm going to click on Create Event. This has tons of stuff going on. The first thing you'll want to do is add a title when you're creating an event. You're going to also change the date and the time. Make sure your time zone is in your current time zone. You can click here to add any guests. You can click this button to automatically add Google Meet video conferencing. You can click here to add locations. Click in this section to add a description or documents. And then here at the very bottom is where you're going to decide which calendar this is going to go on, where you can color coordinate the calendar. And the next little button here is if you're busy or free. Are you busy? Like this needs to block your time off, or are you free? So it kind of depends on what kind of event you're putting on your calendar. Your default visibility, do you want that to be visible to the public or private, or just keep it on your default? And then the last thing here is your notifications button. You can choose to get notified when, and you can add more notifications as well. And you can make those 1 day before, 1 hour before, 30 minutes before, 15 minutes before. So I have 10 minutes, 15, 30, 1 hour, and 1 day. So I have 5 notifications just on this one Google Calendar. If I need to add more things, I can click more options. It's going to take me to a bigger view where I can add guests, modify the event, invite others, allow guest list to be seen, and things like that. I can create meeting notes. I can attach documents. I can put bulleted and numbered lists, insert links, all kinds of things here in this description box. When I'm done, I am going to click the Save button. That's going to add it to my calendar. And I didn't give it a title, so you can see here I have no title on this. If I wanted to click on it and edit, I could click this little pencil. If I want to delete it, I can delete it with the trash can. I can email the event details. I can click the 3 dots for more options. I can print, duplicate, or copy it to another event, or even change the owner of the event, because right now my primary calendar owns this event. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete it because we're going to be making other calendar events as well. And so we're just going to talk a little bit about what you should be putting on your calendar. So I'm going to turn this off here, and actually what I want to turn on is my Real Estate Perfect calendar. And you can see here, this is a day in the life of a real estate agent, right? We should be time blocking. We should be setting expectations with our clients that we will get back to them at this time and this time. And so when you get up every day, your 5 a.m. routine should be just for you. You wake up, you go to the gym, you have breakfast, you get a good healthy start to your day, and then after that, about 6 a.m. you start getting ready, get the kids off to school, and start looking through all the things and prepping for what you need to do around 8 a.m. So 8 to 9 a.m. you're going to start prepping, checking emails, reading through everything you need to get started, getting everything set up so that at 9 a.m. sharp for a good hour and a half, all you're going to do is set appointments. Then about around 10:30, you want to take a little break. Then maybe 11, you want to do lunch. You can even do a 30-minute lunch if you want to, and then prep for 30 minutes, but you can do lunch and prep all together. And then after lunch should be nothing but appointments. From 12 to 4:30 should be nothing but appointments for you. Then you're going to wrap up your day around 4:30 and head home for dinner and family time from 5 to 7. And then 7 to 9 should be your personal time. and then you're going to do it all again the next day. And so you can block this on your calendar. You may have a different setup. You may have a different schedule. Your kids may get home earlier or later. They may leave earlier or later. But this is a general idea of what a day should look like for you as a real estate agent. With that in mind, we know that we need to block and we need to time block. So we need to learn how to set recurring events and adding details to a calendar event. So let's do that now. One of the things that comes to mind for me is a class that I have to take regularly once a month. That's my compliance class. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that. I'm going to call it compliance. And it's on the third Tuesday of every month. So let me go to April 1, 2, 3. So it's the third Tuesday of every month, and it's from 1:30 to 3:30. So I know if I put this on my calendar now that I will have it blocked and nothing else will go in that spot every third Tuesday of the month. It's actually a compliance class that I have to attend, and it does repeat. So you see here where it says does not repeat. We're going to go ahead and say it does repeat. I'm going to do monthly on the third Tuesday. And then it's going to be on my calendar monthly on the third Tuesday, and it's going to go under the Bren Brewer calendar, and I'm going to make sure I'm busy. I'm going to notify myself 10 minutes before. I love that. And then I am going to write myself a note to check the training calendar for the Zoom link for this class. And I'm actually going to go get that and put it on here, but I don't have it right now. And now I'm going to click Save. And so now you can see my compliance class is on the third Tuesday of the month, every month. And you can see here, let's go to the month view. And I have my compliance class here, and let's go to May, and I have compliance here. So you can see it's on the third Tuesday of every month. Amazing. All right, so we've added a recurring training class to our calendar. You may have noticed here I have multiple calendars in my calendar. You can see if I turn them on by clicking the check marks, you can see that I have a lot going on with some transactions, right? So this yellow is one property, the option period. It says earnest and option money due. So what I've done is I have added, by coming down here to my calendars, a new calendar for every transaction I have going on. To do that, I would click on Add and Create New Calendar. You'll make sure you name it to, let's just do 1234 Main Street, and click on Create Calendar. Make sure you have your time zone correct. That's going to take a minute, and when you click this arrow back, you should have a new calendar with a new color on your calendars. You can change the colors if you don't like the colors that it auto gives you. And you can see now I have all of these properties here. And so what I've done is I've created a calendar specifically for that property. I don't need all of those things on my main calendar. I just need them on a calendar. It's also going to be good for when you get all the dates on here from all of your transactions, from the entire transaction, then you can share this complete calendar with your clients. So I like to do that. You can see this Westwego. It's already got stuff on here and it's ready to go. So I'm going to click the three dots and click Settings and Sharing. I'm going to come down to the people and I'm going to add people in groups. And then I'm just going to add myself, and you can see all event details, see only for your busy, or make changes. I want to make sure if it's my clients, they can see all event details, and click Send. Okay, so now once you send that to your clients, they have the whole calendar. They can see all the events on it. When you add or remove events, they will be able to see that as well. So just to recap, when you get a new buyer under contract or you get a new listing, you want to come into your Google Calendar and create a new calendar here. It's going to be under your other calendars. You click the plus button and click Create New Calendar. You give that calendar a name. It's going to be a name of the address of the property that your clients are selling or buying, and then you'll have it here under your calendar list. You can select it or unselect it to turn it off or on. I like to do this because, as you can see, I can select let's just select this one, and you can see I have listing photos going live. It's going on the active on the MLS on the 11th, open houses every weekend. I can turn on just one property and see what's going on with that one, and it just makes it easier to see everything that you have to do with one single transaction. So that is my real estate pro tip of the day. Make a separate calendar for every property. And so creating an event for that property is seamless. You're going to do the same thing. Click create, click event. But here where it says your name, you want to make sure that you put the property here. Okay? And that way, when you're adding an event like an open house, you can make sure that it's in the right property, the right color, and you can mark yourself as busy or free, right? It's very important to mark yourself as busy or free so that you don't block yourself off from certain calendar invites or other things that you might need to be getting done. You'll have that on there. Now, for instance, open house, I might be repeating that, and I might be doing that on a custom schedule every week when I have a new listing. That might be going on for this whole month. So I will make that end May 27th, click done, or April 27th. And now if I click save, you'll see this is going to go onto my calendar every weekend. So I'll be hosting that open house for that every weekend. You can see at 2 p.m. I also have an open house for a different property, and then all the other things as well. Since we're doing this, I want to go over a couple of things that you might need on a property calendar. Dates such as inspection period, which you can see I have here, final loan approval deadlines, closing dates, open houses, any kind of contingencies that you have in the contract. Pretty much every single date that's in that contract needs to go on your calendar under the property address calendar that you've created, right? You also want to put when photos are being taken, if staging is being done, the date and time for that, if there's any make-readies being done, inspections, anything that's being done with the property, you want to put it on your calendar and share that calendar with your client. So now you've created events on your calendar, and you've created calendars, and you've created events on your calendar. But let's say you need to change one of the events. You're just going to click on that event and click the pencil button, and you can edit that event. So this open house, maybe I'm changing that to Sundays instead of Saturdays. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to click save, and then Google is going to ask you, do you want to change only this event or this event and all the following events? So you can change one, just this one is changing, or you can change this one and the rest that are in the repeating section. Click OK, and you can see it changed them all to Sunday. Now, let's say a transaction has closed and you no longer need this transaction on your calendar anymore. Well, you're just going to make sure you unselect it, go to the three dots next to it, and click Hide from List. And now you won't see it anymore. You can do that on any calendar that you do not any longer want to be seen anymore. So once it closes, you can take that off. You don't have to see all these calendar events any longer. Now, we talked about sharing. You might want to share this with clients. You may want to share this with transaction coordinators and also your assistants or anyone else that will be working on the transaction. And that's going to make collaboration easy and seamless for you throughout the whole transaction because everybody's going to know what dates you are doing everything. Let's switch gears for a minute, and I want to show you how to set up appointment schedules. So here in the top right, you can see you have tons of things that you can create, but appointment schedules are setting up appointments for other people to book you. It's very similar to setting up a calendar event, only you're going to set up a whole schedule. And let me show you. I'm going to click create and then appointment schedule. I'm going to add a title. So let's call this listing consultation. The duration of that appointment should be 30 minutes to an hour, whatever it takes you. You know, I'm going to put 1 hour just so it blocks an hour on my calendar. It's going to repeat every day, but not Sundays and not Saturdays by default. If you want Sundays to be available, you will add it. And if you want Saturdays to be available, you'll add that as well. And whatever time you want it, you're going to go ahead and change that. So maybe on Sundays, you don't do them till noon. If you're going by the perfect schedule that I showed you earlier, it's going to be afternoon for you as well. And so I would do 4, and then I can also click copy to the rest of my calendar. And so now I have appointment schedules getting ready to be every day of the week from noon to 4. Your scheduling window is going to allow people to schedule you 60 days in advance, up to 4 hours before an event. You can change a date's availability. So if you're going to use appointment schedules, you've got to be a master of your calendar. You've got to make sure you're showing yourself as free or busy. If you're putting an inspection period on your calendar, you're going to show yourself as free for that entire week on that property calendar. That way you'll still have slots open for your actual listing appointments. On my adjusted availability, let's scooch on over to maybe May 27th? Is that the holiday? Can't remember. Let's just go to July. I know July 4th is a holiday. I'm going to click on this unavailable all day button. It's going to show me unavailable on July 4th for any appointments because that's a holiday and I'm not working on that holiday. Below that is your booked appointment settings. So it's going to ask you, do you want any buffer time between appointments? If you do, select it and show the buffer time. You maybe want 15 minutes at least between appointments, and your maximum bookings per day. Let's do 6. You can do 4, 6, 3, 2. It's up to you. But once you hit those maximum, you won't be available any longer that day. The calendars that it's supposed to check, and we're just going to pull it to Bren Brewer, and then we can also tell it to check any of these other calendars as well to make sure I'm free or busy. And then you can also add people to co-host appointments. So if you have a buyer agent or a listing agent or an assistant, things like that, you can add them here. Let's just pretend like Marty is a co-host to my appointments, and then I'm going to click next. You can have a booking page, photo, and name. So that's going to be what your name is and what your photo is in your Google account. Your location, so you may want to just put none to be specified later for a listing consultation because normally we meet at their home. And then the description, you want to type out something nice. You can use ChatGPT to do it. You just say, hey, it was a pleasure speaking with you. I'm looking forward to meeting you in your home. Can't wait to see you soon. Something to that nature. You're just going to type that in there, and then you're going to get to their booking form. It's going to ask them their first name, last name, email address. You can click on add an item and maybe add a phone number and click add item so that you have all of that. You're going to add another item. It's going to be a custom item specifically for the listing consultation, and you're going to type in address and you're going to make it required and click add item. Okay, require email verification. That's going to require them to have a Google account to book an appointment with you. I don't normally turn that on. And then the last step here is your booking confirmation and reminders. Calendar invitation is checked. That will go out to you and your co-host and the client that booked the appointment, and you will also get an email reminder. This is where you need to change it to 1 day before. You also want to click on adding a reminder. We want to do 1 hour before, and we may want to do 10 minutes before as well, and then we're going to click save. I'm actually going to go back one and take Marty off as a co-host so he doesn't get an email right now. But yes, I am going to click save now. And you can see I have created a bookable appointment schedule for a listing consultation. I can click here and click to see all of my schedules. You can say it's a 60 minutes listing consultation. There are no words here because I didn't put a description in, but if I click on it, you can see all the times that I'm available. And as a client, they can click on this and they can fill this out and click book. And it's going to tell them they have to put in their name and number and things like that. That's my listing consultation. I can go back here and you can say this is going to be on my calendar every day. If I want to edit, I can just click on it, click the pencil, and it takes me back to that same screen. I can also come in here, click create another appointment schedule, and I want to do a buyer consultation. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make myself available every day from noon to 4. Copy that to all the days, and then my scheduling window is fine. I'm also going to take myself off of all of the holidays that are coming up so I don't get booked that day. My appointment settings are fine. Bren Brewer, I'm going to check all my calendars and then click next. My photo and name is fine, but this one, how and where to meet, we're going to do this as an in-person meeting, and I'm just going to put in my office into this location section. All right, you can see my office. I'm going to do the same thing with the description. I hope to see you soon in my office. Can't wait to meet you in person, blah, blah, blah. Put that in your description. Your booking form is going to have first name, last name, email address, and we are going to require the phone number and no email verification. And then our booking emails and reminders, we're going to do 1 day before, of course, and then we're going to do 10 minutes before, and then we're going to also do 1 hour before and click save. So now easily we created a listing consultation and a buyer consultation. If I click on see all your booking pages, you can see this is both of my consultations. You have my listing consultation here. We have the buyer consultation here as well, where you can book all of these things with me, and that's going to put it straight on my calendar. So let me show you one. Let's book it real quick. I'm going to click book, and you can see close, it booking confirmed, and then let's go to my calendar and show you what that looks like. Here you go, buyer consultation. It's going to show up in your calendar. It's going to show you who booked it and any information that they put in. So it's going to show up right there on your calendar. How beautiful is that? So sharing your booking page after you get this done, and you may want to put other things in here as well because you may have other services. You may want to share this page. So you can come here, see all your booking pages. You can share this URL. You can click this share button. You can share all the appointment schedules or just a single booking page, and you can choose which one. But if you want them all, here's your link. You can just click copy the link. You can go paste that in your URL. And there you have it here. Click the 3 dots in the top, click save and share, and then click create QR code. Download this, and you can use that anywhere you want. Flyers, listing appointments, buyer appointments, business cards, you name it, you can put this QR code on any kind of marketing material you have. That way anyone can book an appointment with you whenever they scan the code. And it's just a great tool to have at your disposal. So let's recap a little bit and go over some best practices for your Google Calendar. Number 1, you're going to create multiple calendars. You're going to do that for each property that you have a transaction with, whether it's a buyer or a seller. You're going to make sure that you're using busy or free for appointment scheduling. You're going to color code those transactions and events. You're going to set reminders. You're going to start time blocking. You're going to sync this with your mobile device, meaning you're going to get the Google Calendar app, and you're going to regularly update and review your calendar. You need to block 30 minutes to an hour every week to make sure your calendar is up to date for the next week or even the next couple of weeks. Incorporate travel time into your calendar. Use recurring events and block time off for admin tasks. You can't do everything, so you have to block it, and if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and same with ahas. And today we located and accessed our Google Calendar on desktop. We navigated the calendar interface, we created events and appointments, we used multiple calendars for different aspects of real estate, we shared calendars with others, set recurring events, and we set up appointment schedules. Your Google Calendar should be all ready to go. Next steps, I want you to create a separate calendar for all of your transactions, set up different appointment schedules based on your services that you offer, and time block for your perfect day in real estate. Thanks for checking out my video, and I can't wait to see how you master your Google Calendar. Until next week, I'll see you then.